What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean Davis. We are here for Mock Draft 1.0. Super excited about this. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do this a little bit more live this time around. Wasn't able to get any graphics or presentation up for you guys. Was under the weather this weekend. Was pretty sick. I'm still recovering my voice. Got me some tea right here to get the voice back. Definitely not WrestleMania sick or whatever the hell that means. If you know, you know. But yeah, make sure you guys please do subscribe here to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. It is really the quickest, easiest, and least. It doesn't cost anything to do that. Really does help out my show and our guys to keep things going here. So really appreciate you guys for doing that. And with that being said, let's get into it. All right, here we go. First overall pick, the Washington Wizards. We already ran our draft lottery simulator. The Wizards ended up with the first overall pick, and this is a pretty easy pickup here. This is Alex Sarr all the way, in my opinion. A guy that gets compared a lot to a guy like a Jared Jackson Jr. because of his shot blocking ability, his ability to stretch the floor. He does like to shoot some jumpers. I think right now, I still have some more grading to get to. I think right now he's the best player in this draft. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. And Washington continues their rebuild, and hopefully, they make the right decision here. They do take Alexander Sarr. Now this is where the draft gets interesting. And San Antonio Spurs fans, please let me know where you guys think about this pick, because for me right here, the Raptors, by the way, they won their top six pick. The Raptors were awarded literally pick number 6 in this draft lottery. So with that being said, we're gonna take who, in my opinion, is the best guard in this draft still. Although Stephen Castle is really on his toes right now. I mean, Reed Shepherd still had a phenomenal season, but we're going to take Nikola Topic. I think he is the best playmaker in this draft class. His feel for the game is unprecedented. And you see a lot of 18-year-old kids really try to avoid contact when going to the rim. And Nikola Topic is the exact opposite. His ability to finish, especially with the left hand, embrace contact to finish through it. The jumper isn't broken, but it definitely needs some work on. But the playmaking and the rim, creation ability right now is enough for me to take him here at number 2 overall. All right, number 3 overall, we are the Detroit Pistons. And I'm not going to lie, I am thinking Dalton Connect here. Admittedly, I do think about Dalton Connect here a little bit, just because I think you know what he is as a prospect. And I do see a world where Dalton Connect can potentially go top 5. But I'm going to take Zach Reese. And look, he has definitely fallen on some boards recently. Absolutely, because he has gone through a bit of a cold spell. If I were to pull up really quickly, let's pull up Kevin O'Connor's The Ringer's most recent mock draft. Yeah, he has Zach Reese going at 10. I don't really care about that. I'm still taking the upside pick here. And yes, he has struggled recently, right? But best case scenario, the upside, you get Michael Porter Jr. next to Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson. This team just needs some shooting and just some upside. And I'm going to take Zach Reese. So the Portland Trailblazers are on the clock now. And with the board falling like this, I'm basically going wings. So this is where the wings are going to start to fall. Do you take a guy like a Dalton Connect here, who I think we're starting to think about? But I'm looking at these top 3 guys, and I'm taking Cody Williams, who's kind of hurt his own stock coming back. And obviously trying to help Colorado go on an NCAA tournament run. But I really do think that he kind of reminds you of his brother. You can't not think of that a little bit, right? But he gets to grow and develop, because I think day one he would probably sit behind a Jeremy Grant, let him really grow. And that's perfectly fine for me with a guy like a Cody Williams. And I don't fully finished my eval, right? But the defensive ability, his just feel for the game in general, he has playmaking upside. The scoring is going to come around, I think. I'm such a big fan of Cody Williams. I think this is a slam dunk pickup for the Portland Trailblazers. Now, The Charlotte Hornets are on the clock, and this is interesting. Do we go wing here like a Amadou Zealous, who in theory could be the next 3-and-D wing, if you will? That is definitely something I'm thinking about. And you know what? I haven't done this. I've done some mock drafts to get ready for this video. I haven't done this yet. We're gonna see how this plays out. We're gonna take Amadou Zealous to pair in our front court next to Brandon Miller, who has 3-and-D potential. The shot isn't consistent right now. So year one, you're probably looking at like a playmaking wing that has good defensive upside, especially as a weak side rim protector. He does use his legs fairly all right, but I think this is another spot in Charlotte where I think you could probably let him. I don't even say you will let him grow and develop, because I do think he would probably start if he like plays well in summer league and stuff like that. But I do think that there isn't an immediate pressure on a guy like Amadou Buzelis, where you can let him kind of go through some of these growing pains. This is a young core, and I think ultimately Charlotte's still probably a year away from kind of being this year's Orlando Magic, if you will. All right, next up, we got the Toronto Raptors, which if I'm Toronto right now, I am a little bummed because the pick for me has almost exclusively been Miles Buzelis every single time, but Charlotte takes him at 5. So there is a couple of different things we could go here. Do we go one of these Kentucky guards? Do we take Stephen Castle, excuse me. I'm going to do this. And I just want to really, really quickly check his contract. I mean, not that like it's a big deal, but you know, it is something that I think Toronto can consider. That contract though is just brutal. I really, really, really want to take Donovan Clingan. And folks in the comments, let me know maybe if I should just take Donovan Clingan regardless of, you know, Jakob Poeltl's absurd contract that, by the way, is the reason why the Raptors are in this mess in the first place. I'm not going to do it. We are going to take, if I'm Toronto here, we're going to take Reed Shepherd. A really, really, really skilled guard that I think just his feel for the game is absurd. One of the better playmakers. I think you could allow him to potentially get on ball, like really on ball opportunities where he gets to prove himself and just get more of those reps. Next up here, we got the Memphis Grizzlies, and Memphis is the happiest person in the universe right now because they're going to just immediately, they're going to sprint to the podium and they're going to take Donovan Clingan. Insane rim protector. Good luck scoring on Donovan Clingan and Jaren Jackson Jr. as a front court. And then you throw like a Vince Williams in there as well. You use that Marcus Smart in that backcourt. This was very much so a rebuilding year for not even a rebuilding year, a retool for the Memphis Grizzlies with the Ja suspension plus the Ja injury. Triple J, Brandon Clark, Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, all missing time. G.G. Jackson showed great promise. And this is the pick right here. Next up, the Utah Jazz. This is where it gets really, really interesting here. And for Utah, man, this is tough. Utah's in a really, really tough spot here. We're not trading down, although I would really, really consider it. So we're just going to take... I don't like the idea of Rob Dillingham next to, like, thinking long-term backcourt. I don't like the idea of Rob Dillingham next to Keontae George. So we're going to take Stephen Castle here. One thing Will Hardy has proven to do over the past couple of years is he does a really, really good job of not letting teams take advantage of their players' weaknesses, especially when they've actually been trying. So I fully expect Will Hardy to put Stephen Castle in position to be successful. And there you go. You have back-to-back UConn Huskies going here in this mock draft. Next up here, another pretty easy pick for me. I'm taking Rob Dillingham for the Houston Rockets. In my top 10 guards video, my pro comp for Rob Dillingham was high-end Tyrese Maxey. I don't want to say low-end because this is probably the best low-end out of anybody then, but middle tier end, if you will, making up words here, that's what we're here for. The middle line, if you will, was Malik Monk. And the low end was Bones Highland. And what I said was, you are more likely to get Bones Highland if you let him get a lead guard, a lead ball handler role, right? But you're also way more likely to get a Tyrese Maxey, which is my high-end comp for Rob Dillingham. Now, year one, he's going to be a microwavable scorer off the bench. But I think long term, this team that can kind of view Amin Thompson as a 2/3, and then you have Jalen Green who's a 2. I think these just aren't really lead guards. I mean, maybe Amin Thompson could develop into that lead guard, but I'm going to give Rob Dillingham the opportunity to let those guys be combo guards, if you will. You already have wings. I'm not reinvesting into the wings right now. I feel perfectly fine. You have Steven Adams. You have Alfred Sengun. I like this pickup a lot for the Houston Rockets. So here for the Atlanta Hawks, this might be a hot take. And again, please let me know what you guys think. But I'm of the mindset that we need to continue to contend and try to build this roster. Right now, we don't know. I don't know what the division is for Trey and DeJounte. I think regardless of what the division is, I think they're going to try to compete. I think they almost have to. So we're going to get arguably the most day one ready prospect in this draft, and that's Don Connect, who is creeping up a bunch of draft boards recently. And as a matter of fact, this is how much he's creeping up draft boards. I have a higher grade on Dog Connect than I do on Miles Brazils as of right now. I'm not fully done. I have some more games I can get to. But currently, in terms of who has the better grade, it is Dog Connect as of right now. One of the best, if not the best shooter in this draft class. It is remarkable just how much of a flamethrower he is. Great reference there. He has playmaking upside, just a super versatile offensive chess piece that I know Quinn Snyder is going to love. So as the Atlanta Hawks GM, you're welcome, Quinn Snyder. Next up, the Chicago Bulls. We're going to take Ron Holland. We're going to take the upside here. I'm not thinking about this pick. Ron Holland's still here at 11. One of the things I don't understand for the life of me is taking a guard for Chicago, which I've seen mocked a ton. Because think about it, Kobe White, Alex Caruso. I mean, Javon Carter shouldn't sway my decision one way or another, but we're going to list them. Ayo DeSumo, Zach LaVine. So unless you're getting rid of 2+ of them, Kobe White is staying. Zach LaVine's trade market is toast, so you're probably stuck with that contract right now. Alex Caruso, I don't think you trade Alex Caruso. So are you giving up on Ayo? Javon Carter is probably an easy give up if you wanted to. We're going to go Lonzo Ball, who might be coming back. So I'm not taking a guard. So actually, matter of fact, that's 6 guards. You probably have to get rid of 3 of them for me to take a guard here. We're not taking a guard. We're taking arguably the most pound for pound best athlete in this draft, arguably. And I saw a mock the other day, or like a pro comp the other day, that compared him to a theoretical Josh Jackson. And theoretically speaking, yes, I love that. I love that pro comp a ton. Ron Holland, really, really good pull-up shooter, actually. I have to finish his tape, but super, super excited about this pickup if you are Chicago. All right, next up here, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm just enamored with this fit, so we're going to do it. Zach Edey, 7'4". I'm just convinced that Zach Edey is a good basketball player. Yes, he is tall. Yes, he does not have a ton of post moves, but he doesn't freaking need a ton of post moves. He's 7'5". So, good basketball player, really good rim protector. Just give him his credit. He's a good basketball player. Next up here, the Portland Trailblazers. So we just took Cody Williams to pick 4. We're going to keep going with some size here. I mean, if you look at this roster, they do have some guards. They have some guards, obviously, right? They have Anthony Simons. They have Malcolm Brogdon still under contract. Who knows? He could be on the way out the door this summer via trade. Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, who they have a team option on, who they're surely going to bring back. But we're going to go with some upside here. We're going to take Tadon Saloon here. I absolutely love this pickup here, man. Like, just the two-way upside, like, just the versatility, the shooting ability. He does need to add on some more muscle. I think he is listed here as 207. I'm very, very curious to see what he comes in at during the pre-draft process, the pre-draft workouts and things of that nature, because I am in love with Tadon Saloon. I love this pickup here for Portland. Portland's the early draft winner, in my opinion. So we are here at pick 14 with the with the New Orleans Pelicans, and I'm going to do this 2 different ways. So if I'm the Lakers, I'll explain my process because I have a really good educated guess that the Lakers are going to have this pick, and then the Pelicans are going to take next year's pick, 2025, a better draft class, et cetera, et cetera. If I'm the Lakers, the pickup here is Yves Missi. I think the Lakers and the 76ers are in a similar boat where I really, really need to just take a a big that can really solidify my backup big spot and not having this revolving door of, I don't even want to say like incompetency, but just like inconsistent play and have some upside for my backup big spot. So if I'm the Lakers, I'm taking Yves Missi, really good shot blocker, really good rebounder, really good lob threat. Who cares, really, honestly, for your backup big that he's not the best playmaker? That does limit his upside in the grand scheme of things, but I don't really care. Sure, the conditioning is always the best. I don't care. We are drafting him to be our backup big for Anthony Davis if I'm the Lakers. So Yves Missi would be the pick here if I'm the Lakers, drafting at pick 14. Tristan Del Silva also gets a special shout out, but I'm so let's take a big oriented here. If you went wings, sure, I guess. Tyler Smith even actually a really, really fun mention. But I'm taking Yves Missi. The Pelicans, I'm taking Isaiah Collier. I'm taking Isaiah Collier, a top 10 talent in this draft class that can come off the bench year one as a microwavable scorer, but learn from CJ McCollum. That's honestly what I think he needs. I think he needs to just continue to learn and sharpen some of his basketball IQ, if you will. I'm not saying he's not a smart player, but I thought at the beginning of the year, and this is why he was just plummeting on big boards, I thought at the beginning of the year that he just didn't read the floor well at all. And kudos to him, right? He recovered from injury, which is already just this absolute I don't even know what the word is, right? Like the emotion that you have to like process dealing with the injury and coming back, and immediately it just all starts to kind of click for Isaiah Collier, where he was a way better playmaker and a way better decision maker when returning back from his injury. You can really tell that he was really in the film and trying to figure out what was going wrong for him. And he came back. It was absolutely fantastic. He is one of the best finishers in this draft class. I think there is upside with the shot. I think he could be a lead ball handler. Let him learn from CJ McCollum, excuse me, who I do believe is on the last year of his contract coming up. So, like, next season will be last year of his deal. No, he's a free agent. No, wait, sorry. He has he has 2 years on his deal, 24-25, 25-26. Then he's unrestricted free agent. Let him learn from CJ McCollum. You have Isaiah Collier locked up long term. I love this pickup. And that is the end of the lottery. So taking a look here at what we got. I really like how this lottery panned out. So let's continue here with the rest of this draft. And we're going to start off with the Miami Heat, and we're going to take Jared McCain. I love Jared McCain here. This isn't maybe the most Heat culture pick. He paints his nails. He's a singer and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe this isn't the most Heat culture pick, right? But Jared McCain competes his ass off defensively. He's so freaking smart. I think he has playmaking upside that he just doesn't get to show because of Duke's guard situation. One of the best shooters in this draft that should be able to come in and play right away. I love Jared McCain. This is such a good pick, and I'm a really, really big fan of Jared McCain's work. He is my 6th graded guard on my board right now. There's a couple of the guards I have to get around to. Like, I have to fully do a Bub Carrington eval since I was in the impression he was going to return, so I didn't do one. But that's my fault. Won't happen again. The Philadelphia 76ers, we're going to take Yves Missi. I kind of already forecasted that pick when I was doing my explanation with the Lakers, but we are going to solidify the backup big room. The Philadelphia 76ers have a bunch of projected cap space as of right now, where right now, in terms of player options and team options, the only players under contract, if I'm remember correctly, is Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and now Yves Missi. We're going to build around that. We're going to let Yves Missi come off our bench here. Next up, Toronto Raptors. We are going to take an upside swing here, if you will, and we're going to go take Tyler Smith from G League Ignite. Just absolute versatile, just chess piece, if you will, man. He is so freaking good. I look at a guy like a Tyler Smith, and I just see his ability to knock down jumpers, be able to protect the rim. He has legitimate two-way upside, and that's the type of player I want in Toronto. Reed Shepherd, Tyler Smith, you love this draft if you're the Raptors. All right, Atlanta Hawks here, pick 18. I am a bit lower on Jacoby Walter, but I even consider him at pick 10. But we took Dog Connect. I love the fact that Jacoby Walter's here at number 18 for us. So we're going to take Jacoby Walter. We're going to get more 3-and-D wings in here. Guys that can actually shoot the three. Look, I am a bit lower on Jacoby Walter. There's some mocks around there that have people believing that he could be not Jacoby Walter. He is Jacoby Walter. That have him compared to a guy like a Chris Middleton, and I'm just like, absolutely not. Now, there's also people that think Jacoby Walter is just not going to project as a good shooter because of that really, really rough Big 12 stretch he had. And yes, that is absolutely the case, right? He did have that rough stretch. But you got to understand, like, the degree of difficulty of shots that he had at Baylor long term, if you do keep Trae Young around, you get to pair him next to Trae as this off-ball player that can come off of screens. I compared him to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and I love that a lot for Baylor. I buy the defense, which some people are a little shaky on. I like Jacoby Walter. I'm just a little bit lower on him. But this is a slam dunk pick, literally, for Atlanta. The Cleveland Cavaliers, we are really, really bummed out that we missed out on Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith going to the Toronto Raptors. Really, really bummed out about that one. So we're going to take Kevin McCullough here at pick 19. Kevin McCullough, a guy that is a really, really, really smart two-way player that is just defensively a workhorse, and then offensively has really, really good and nice versatility because he was that on-ball player for Kansas. Really high IQ type of guy. I'm a fan of Kevin McCullough, and we're going to make this pick here for Cleveland. Next up, the Phoenix Suns. We're going to take Devin Carter. This is the pick that just makes the most sense for me. And look, again, another player that I am lower on, but I do ultimately still like Devin Carter. And yes, he's probably risen just a little bit on my board, but Devin Carter is a really, really good player. He's a really, really good defender. He's a day one rotation player, which Phoenix just needs guys that can be rotation players. If they were somehow able to retain Grayson Allen, that bench backcourt is Devin Carter and Grayson Allen. You are absolutely cooking there. So I really, really love that pick a lot for the Phoenix Suns. And then next up here, we got the New Orleans Pelicans here now on the clock. And we already took Isaiah Collier here at pick at 14. So here at 21, we're going to take Khalil Ware. We're going to take Khalil Ware. I am a little bit worried about Jonas Valanciunas just in terms of like how much longer are we going to really keep him around. Khalil Ware does have just like some motor issues and question marks. That's why I've seen like maybe some DeAndre Ayton comparisons because of that. But absolute best case scenario, man. Freak athlete, really good lob threat. Just can he be a night in, night out high motor guy? The 3-point upside is there as well. He gets mocked or compared a lot to Miles Turner, and that's what you're really, really hoping for. Next up here, the New York Knicks are on the clock. We're going to take Tristan Del Silva here. This is the pick that just makes a ton of sense. And you want to talk about a guy that, for a team that's trying to contend, a guy that is another just day one rotation player. And this is the guy that could probably go near lottery. Like I said, I considered him with the Lakers and with the sorry, crap, I can't speak now. The Lakers and the 76ers, right? This is a guy that can go lottery or fringe lottery. And the New York Knicks end up with Tristan Del Silva, and they end up with we don't know yet. I thought I already picked with the Knicks, so that's my mistake. Now, the Orlando Magic, you're probably a little bummed out, right? You're a little bummed out that you missed out on Tristan Del Silva. You're one pick away. We're gonna take Keyshawn George. I freaking love Keyshawn George, man. Again, these stats look brutal. Just the stats are on the screen, right? But Keyshawn George is legitimately one of the only good things that came from the Miami Hurricanes basketball program this season. Love the offensive upside and the versatility that he does provide. I'm really, really curious how he's going to grade out. I love Keyshawn George a ton. Next up, Milwaukee Bucks. This is maybe the easiest pick of the draft for me, and maybe this is a hot take. Guys, let me know in the comments down below. I'm taking Ryan Dunn. Their point of attack defense is so god-awful that I'm willing to take the complete opposite of that and take the best point of attack defender, wing stopper, just defender in general in this draft class and just completely ignore how bad of an offensive player he is currently, right? Now, if the jumper comes around, he's Herb Jones, who is a perennial all NBA defensive caliber player. And worst case scenario, he's Matisse Thybulle. Either way, I love this pick. Ryan Dunn can be a bench plug, a bench spark plug if you got even like a Jared Vanderbilt type of guy. I don't think I think right now the offense is a struggle, right? But he is a ball mover, not a ball stopper. He understands his role really, really nicely. I do like Ryan Dunn here for Milwaukee. All right, 25 here, the New York Knicks. We are going to take Johnny Furphy. This might be a reach. I've seen some people mock him going to the second round as well. So you guys let me know. I am actually really, really bummed out that Colin Murray-Boyles is returning back to South Carolina because I really, really do like him a ton. I thought he could have been a legit first round fringe lottery type of player. He's so good. He's raw. Johnny Furphy, going back to Johnny Furphy now. He is raw, but and maybe he is a fringe lottery guy next year if he were to go back to Kansas. But the shooting ability, just the basketball IQ, his awareness is so freaking good. He has the length and the size to be a potential good defensive player. He's just not the most athletic guy, but 6'9". I'm really, really curious how he tested the pre-draft workouts, but we're going to take Johnny Furphy there for the Knicks. So the Knicks, we're going to end up with Johnny Furphy and Tristan Elsiva. I'm a fan of that. The Washington Wizards are on the clock. We took Alex Sarr earlier. We're going to take Bub Carrington. We're going to take the upside. And again, not fully finished my eval on Bub Carrington yet. Definitely somebody I am going to make sure I get around to this week. But Bub Carrington, really, really smart and really, really good shot maker. The efficiency isn't great, but he really was that Pitt offense. I really wished that Pittsburgh was able to play in the NCAA tournament so we could see Bub Carrington on that national stage. But smart playmaker, really good shot maker, and just a high upside play. He's 19 years old. True freshman. Makes a ton of sense here. Next up, we got the Utah Jazz on the clock. And I think we're just going to take Kyle Filipowski. At some point, he had to get picked. And I'm just not in love with Kyle Filipowski to the point where, again, like, should he just stay another year? But he has the playmaking upside. He has the shot making to where offensively he's going to really, really make sense for what Will Hardy wants to do in this system. We took who did we take already at the beginning of this draft with Utah? We took Stephen Castle. We're going to get some shooting, some playmaking upside. Not saying that you don't have that with Stephen Castle, but that's going to be the move there. This pick for the Minnesota Timberwolves now, we're going to take Terrence Shannon. We're going to take Terrence Shannon here from Illinois. And this is a guy that is just a really good scorer, really good defender. I think, honestly, just his role is going to be as a 3-and-D defender, good finisher, smart player, can hit pull-up threes, but also I think you need him to go back to some of the defensive ability that he showcased earlier on in his career. When he got more of an offensive load, the defense kind of did take a step back. But Terrence Shannon here, a scoring punch off the bench that also has some defensive upside. Next up, Denver Nuggets, Tyler Kolek. I love Tyler Kolek. I really hope to do a film breakdown on Tyler Kolek in the future. I think he's one of the better playmakers in this draft. I think just, again, his feel for the game, and I compared him to Goran Dragic. He's just such a freaking good fit here in Denver. Really solidified that backup spot nicely, in my opinion, behind Jamal Murray. Reggie Jackson's fine, but more long-term. You have your backup at Tyler Kolek, and if he turns out to be Goran Dragic, you are celebrating this pick with the masses if you're at Denver. Keep that championship window open. And last pick here in the first round and for this mock draft for the Boston Celtics. We're going to take Osa Ighodaro. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, please correct me. I do apologize, Ighodaro. But you can't lie and say you don't see a little bit of Al Horford in his game. He is this undersized big that is a really good playmaker, that is also pretty good defensive player that I think a Boston scheme will be used really, really nicely. So we're going to make this pick here. Has some upside, even though he is a 22-year-old senior. So that is it. That is our first round complete mock draft. Next time we'll have a more in depth with graphics and stuff like that. Back-to-back Marquette players to end the first round is a really, really cool sight to see if you're a Marquette fan. This was fun. This was really, really fun. I'm having a blast evaluating these players this draft cycle. I hope you guys are enjoying the ride with me as well. If you guys do, please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe here to the channel. Guys, I really, really appreciate all your support recently. This is a safe, free, and just quite frankly, the easiest way to support me and my channel and the guys that help do a bunch of work behind the scenes for the channel as well. So make sure you guys do smash that like button and subscribe. Turn on post notification bells. We got a bunch of great content on the way for you guys. You guys don't want to miss it. Till next, everybody. See ya. Stay safe. Peace out.